150 years, it was a music hall, a performance space, and a concert venue. Then the Bataclan became synonymous with one of the deadliest episodes in France's recent history. On Friday, November 13th, 2015, a series of terror attacks killed 130 people in Paris, 90 of them at the Bataclan at an Eagles of Death Metal concert. As we mark the anniversary of that tragic day, I'm joined by a photographer who was there on the night. The photo you can see there was taken by her, Marion Ruszniewski. Thank you so much for being with us.
You're welcome.
Now, Marion, these photos feature in your recent book, Doing It to Death. This is an overview of 20 years of live music photography written with journalist Doris Lemaitre-Thiolin. In it, we learn that you'd been documenting concerts at the Bataclan for years when you were sent on assignment on November 13th. It was for Rock and Folk magazine.
Yes.
Can you tell us about your experience that evening?
Well, it was a kind of normal concert. I arrived at the Bataclan a bit late after the first gig, and the show start. Immediately, Jesse Hughes start the gig like with joy, and he went into it straight. And we had the three first songs to take the photos. When I had enough photos, I came down, and I was about to go out to take fresh air, and I've been grabbed by two friends of mine, and we just have time to speak like 2 minutes, and the terrorist came in.
And you were severely injured in that attack?
Yes, I got injured in my belly, but nothing too dangerous or too bad. It was at the beginning of the attack, I think. We were still in the dark. After that, the terrorist starts speaking and telling us why they were there, and about Daesh, and what our president did in Iraq and in Syria. And they asked us to lay down on the floor and not move. Each time a phone was ringing, they were shooting at the people. So I could hear the bullet and everything. So it was really frightening. And I don't know, maybe 10, 20 minutes after, someone from outside came in and told us that the terrorists were at the balcony, and it was a moment to go out. The third terrorists were at the other exit. So I waited a bit until he went off, and then I went out. And it was really weird outside because the street was totally quiet. No one was there. And there were just one policeman in the street. And he asked me to move on. And I was like, yes, but where should I go? I said, just walk, go away. So I walked behind him on the boulevard, and then a door was open, and in the light I saw my friend I was with just before the attack. So I came in. It was the office of the production. We were like maybe 40 people rescued from the Bataclan, and some of them were heavily injured, others not, but we were all shocked, and we wait for the emergency services here. That's how it went.
Yeah, and like you say, you were one of the people who managed to get out with injuries, but to get out alive. And your photographs that you'd taken during those first three songs illustrated many of the articles that were then published about the attacks. How did that work? Did you make the decision to distribute your photographs? Was it difficult?
No, in fact, it's AFP who contacted me in the morning. First, I asked my chief editor, Philippe Manœuvre, if he was agree with that, because I was there for Rock and Folk magazine, and I've made the selection, and I sent them to AFP.
And following those attacks, of course, the Bataclan closed for a year before reopening in 2016, late 2016.
Yes.
We recently spoke to one of the artists who returned to the stage there as it welcomed people back to the venue. This is Australian musician Chet Faker.
It was a very memorable show. Obviously, it was very intense and there were a lot of emotions, but it felt very positive, and the staff were very thankful, and it felt like quite a beautiful moment. So I'll always have a memory of playing there.
Marion, you write in your book that you also returned to the Bataclan very soon after it reopened. How did that feel? Were you nervous about going back to work, going back to that place in particular?
I was a bit nervous, especially that one day before the Lemon Twigs show, I didn't know it was taking place at the Bataclan. The day before, I was like, whoa. And my friend came with me as well. We were together, and we took our time to get in. And once inside, we looked everywhere around, see what was different. And what came to me immediately is that they changed the place of the merchandising stand. But the venue itself didn't change a lot. It stays quite the same.
And concerts have been going since then, of course.
Yes.
Now, in the aftermath, of course, of those attacks that claimed lives, not only at the Bataclan, but at a number of bars, restaurants here in Paris, there were dozens of people who lost their lives. There was a commemoration ceremony organised for the victims at Les Invalides in Paris. I believe you attended that ceremony.
Yes, I did.
Why was that important for you?
It was important for all the one who died, I think.
A collective moment.
Yes, a collective moment.
Yeah, of grief. Indeed. Well, on the 10th anniversary of those attacks, France is paying tribute to those who lost their lives and those who've been marked forever by this tragedy. Composer Victor Lemann was asked to capture the moment in a piece of music, and he told us more about his Requiem des Lumières, Requiem of Light, and what he hopes it conveys.
I called it Requiem des Lumières, Requiem of Light, because I believe that beyond the potential pun on the Enlightenment and French philosophy, I think it was the idea of talking about something luminous in this place that evokes such sadness. It's a requiem for the victims, and it's also a requiem for the living, requiem for up there.
So, Marion, we can see that Victor there is using sort of music as a healing form of art. Did you find any art forms that were helpful as a form of escape, as a form of solace following your experience?
Well, photography and music are important in my life. So, yeah, there's a kind of healing for me as well.
And of course, the attacks have been the subject of many books and also films, things like Amanda, Paris Memories, November, these three major films that were made about the moment. What did you think of the cinematic recreation of these events? Do you think that we can make significant works of art out of such tragic circumstances?
I think it's important to have this kind of movies. Paris Memories was one of my favorite one. Really beautiful about the life after the attack, how couples struggled to stay together, or how people, victims met and became lovers. I really like it.
It captured something.
Yeah.
And as I mentioned, of course, the people who were targeted in these attacks were at a concert, in a bar, a restaurant, out on café terraces, in a Friday night Parisian lifestyle sort of way. In a way, it was that lifestyle that was attacked, the social, cultural life in France. Do you think the art scene, the social life, is as carefree, as hedonistic as it used to be?
I hope so. It stays free as much as possible. And I talked to one of my cousins who used to live in New York, and he said that after the September attack, the American New Yorkers didn't go out, and he said he was impressed by the Parisian resilience, going out anywhere and keeping living, and yeah.
And as you write in your book, of course,
Yeah.
concerts continue, music
Yes.
continue.
Yeah, it's really important.
Yeah. Thank you so much for joining us today,
Thank
Marion.
you.
We'll leave you with an exhibition commemorating all of those who lost their lives to terror attacks in 2015. The Carnavalet Museum in Paris has organised an homage to the victims, displaying the myriad ways that collective grief was expressed, be it in striking murals or the poignant graffiti that appeared around the city as people shared their personal thoughts of that dark day. We'll leave you with a glimpse of some of those moving tributes.